Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another daily dose of unstable spoilers. Yesterday, I was a bit meh about the spoilers, lots of contraptions, not too many jokes, but today has been amazing. Today's spoilers are exactly what I was hoping for from Unstable. So many funny cards, good references. I'm really excited to talk about today's cards. Good news is, we got about 1,000,000 cards to talk about, which means we better jump right into it. And we're going to start off today with our exclusive MTG Goldfish Unstable spoiler, Crow Storm. So, if you want a full breakdown of this card, and also other Magic memes, make sure to check out the video we posted a little while ago previewing this card. But the TLDR is, Crow Storm is basically Storm Crow in Storm form. You even get a sweet Storm Crow token to go with it. If you're not familiar with Storm Crow, it might not look like much, but it is one of the most infamous memes in Magic. It's actually like the best creature in Magic, or at least that's what the meme says, because it can be pitched to Force of Will, it can wear equipment, it gets in evasive damage, so it's actually really good, even though it looks like a little bit of an overcosted 2-mana blue creature. With Crow Storm, you don't just get a Storm Crow, but you can make a whole murder of Storm Crows by casting a bunch of spells before it, which makes it an awesome build around for Unstable Limited. It's basically like the Empty the Warrens of the set, except it's in blue, and you get Storm Crows, which is way cooler than 1/1 Goblin token, so really powerful build around for Limited, and just a super fun, exciting meme card, so very happy to have it in Unstable. We also got some sweet Mythics today, including Do It Your Seraph, which is another really powerful effect. 6 mana, you get a 4/4 Cyborg Angel. Whenever it attacks, you get to tutor your library for an artifact and exile it, and then Do It Your Seraph has the text box of each artifact that's exiled with Do It Your Seraph. So, what does this mean? You get things like Sword of Fire and Ice to get in the sword trigger when you hit. You can turn your Do It Your Seraph into an indestructible stuffy doll. You can even tutor up a World Slayer to blow up the battle. So you can do so many cool things with Do It Your Seraph in the right build. I feel like this card, if it's going to be allowed in your playgroup, is a great build around commander card. It's not so weird that it should not be allowed, I don't think, depending on your playgroup, of course, but it seems like it's really fun. I could imagine just attacking with this and tutoring up so many sweet things. Just a really fun, super cool mythic for this set. Speaking of swords and artifacts that can be exiled with Do It Your Seraph, we have confirmation of Sword of Dungeons and Dragons, which was actually spoiled at HasCon earlier this year, but this is the next in the sword cycle. We have Sword of Body and Mind, Light and Shadow, Feast and Famine, Fire and Ice, all other swords. Sword of Dungeons and Dragons, pretty much the same thing. 3 mana to cast, 2 to equip. The equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has protection from rogues and clerics, and whenever it deals combat damage, you get a 4/4 gold dragon creature token with flying, which is already pretty good, and you get to roll a d20, and if you roll 20, you get another 4/4 gold dragon creature token. So a really cool Dungeon and Dragons flavored card in the set. Seems pretty powerful too, like all the swords have proven themselves to be powerful, even the ones that don't seem that powerful at first glance, usually end up being really good. Although, I'm not sure how important protection from rogues and clerics will be. Kind of fringe creature types in the world of Magic. More important to Dungeons and Dragons, I think. But a really fun, flavorful card for Unstable. Next up, we got the Grand Calculation, which is one of the more confusing cards I could ever imagine. 2 mana, you get a legendary artifact. When it enters the battlefield, each player's hand becomes a program, which means an ordered row of revealed cards. You can only play the first card in the program. If a card would be put into a player's hand from anywhere, the player reveals it and places it anywhere in their program instead. At the beginning of each player's end step, if that player has fewer than 5 cards, they draw cards to equal the difference. I do not know what this card does. I mean, I know what it does. I know how it works. I understand the idea of it. I have no idea what the effect on the game will be. If you can order your program in the correct area and in the right order, it seems like you'd be able to get a lot of card advantage from it because you're casting the first cards, getting lower than 5 cards, drawing a bunch of cards. So it seems like it could be a really powerful build around, but it's hard to really understand the impact that it will have on the game without actually playing with it. But it's super spicy top-down design of programming, really. Next, we have Ineffable Blessing, which is pretty busted. 2 mana enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, you choose flavorful or bland. If you choose flavorful, whenever a creature with flavor text enters the battlefield, under your control, you get to draw a card. If you choose bland, same thing, but with no flavor text. And the brokenness of this card, I think, is using it with tokens. Because tokens, of course, don't have flavor text. It's not in their nature to have flavor text. So whenever you make a token, you cast a Raise the Alarm, you're going to draw 2 cards. You cast a Conqueror's Pledge, you're going to draw 6 cards. If you kick it, you draw 12 cards. That's so much free value. Combos with Earl of Squirrel and the Squirrel Link ability. So there's so much power in this card. I think it would be absolutely busted if it was black bordered. But in the world of Unstable and silver bordered, maybe it'll actually be fair. I mean, I guess you can play it to draw cards with your flavor text cards as well, but I think the big combo is playing it with tokens and just drawing oodles and oodles of cards. We also got a ton more contraption enablers. Insight assembles a lot of contraptions. It's basically like a Blue Sun Zenith or a Brain Geyser, but only for contraptions. So you cast it, X5, X6, you get a ton of contraptions on the battlefield, lots of free value, Steam Flugger, Service Ramp, combos with Steam Flugger Boss, some more contraption assembly, and then Midlife Upgrade kind of gives you a little bit of control over your contraptions. You get rid of the ones you don't want and get X+1 new ones, so maybe you can upgrade and do some better contraptions. We also got Summon the Pack, which is a super interesting design. Basically, you cast this for 7 mana, you open a sealed magic booster, you reveal the cards, and you get all the creatures on the battlefield. They're also zombies, so it literally summons a pack of cards onto the battlefield. The question is, what pack do you open? I've heard a lot of people saying Legions, because Legions was 100% creatures, so you know you're going to get 14 or something, minus the land, whatever that would be, creatures on the battlefield. That seems pretty good. I might test my luck with Rise of Eldrazi, try to get an Emrakul, or even some of the common and uncommon Eldrazi are super powerful, but it seems like a really fun card to play with. We also got confirmation that squirrels seem to involve dice rolling shenanigans. Wall of Fortune, kind of like Wheel of Fortune, but a wall, lets you re-roll dice by tapping the wall. Squirrel Power Scheme and Snickering Squirrel both mess with the numbers on your die rolls. Squirrel Power Scheme lets you increase your die roll by 2, so you roll a 6, you actually get an 8. You roll a 4, you get a 6, etc., etc., etc. Snickering Squirrel taps to increase any die roll by 1. Interestingly, it's not formatted in a way where it has to be unsummoning 6, so you can use this actually right away to increase your die rolls because of how it has been formatted. We also got Capital Offense, which is one of my favorite little inside jokes in the set. You might notice the words are intentionally lowercase, no capitals in the title of the card or the name of the card, so it is literally a capital offense because there's no capital, so it's offending the capitalization of the title of the card, but it gives a creature negative X, where X is the number of times capital letters appears in that creature's rule text. No reminder text, no flavor text. I'm glad they pointed that out. So it seems like this is a very hit or miss card. If you are playing against creatures with lots of text and their name appearing multiple times in their rules text, then it's probably going to kill about anything. On the other hand, if you're playing a creature that just has, like, let's say Reach, and that's its only ability, can be pretty hard to kill a giant spider with capital offense. We also got a few more contraptions: Division Table, Boom Flinger, and Dual Doom Suits, all of which are pretty interesting. Boom Flinger has some more dice rolling shenanigans. We saw this mechanic yesterday, but you get to deal damage equal to the difference between 2 dice rolls. Works well with some of the squirrel cards we saw where you can manipulate your dice rolls. Doom Suits is a rare contraption, and it doubles up your damage. It's basically like a Furnace of Wrath, which seems like it could be pretty powerful, although you got to take into account you're only getting it every 3rd turn thanks to the way contraptions work. We also got a couple of payoffs for our contraptions. Clock of Doom lets us crank all of our contraptions and trigger them, so that gives us basically double the activations. Of course, it costs a lot of mana to actually cast it, but it seems pretty sweet. And then Work a Double lets you assemble 2 contraptions. Pretty straightforward for 4 mana, kind of like a red draw 2 for 4. We also got a couple more rares at the very end of our spoilers for today. Rules Lawyer, oh my god, this card is awesome. 5 mana, 1/1, that says state-based actions don't apply to you or permanents you control. So what does this mean? You don't lose a game from having 0 or less life, or from drawing an empty library. Your creatures aren't destroyed due to damage or death touch. They aren't put into the graveyard due to having 0 or less toughness. Your planeswalkers aren't put into the graveyard if they have 0 loyalty. You don't have to put a legendary permanent into the graveyard. If you control 2 or more with the same name, counters are removed from any of the permanents due to game rules. Permanents you control attached and combined illegally remain on the battlefield. For complete rules and regulations, see Rule 704. Oh my god. Basically, this is the craziest card. If you thought Humility was a confusing Magic card, Rules Lawyer is the exact opposite, but it is super amazingly awesome. This is a card I want to build around most. I don't think anyone will let you play this in any real format because it seems not just absurdly powerful, but amazingly annoying to figure out how it works, but that is perfect. It is so on flavor for the Rules Lawyers. So I love this card. Finally, we have another player kind of card, Spike Tournament Grinder, which for me is right up with Rules Lawyer as my favorite card previewed today. So it references Phyrexian mana, double black Phyrexian cost. The ability also has Phyrexian mana, which is one of the most spiky mechanics we've had in years. We've had multiple Phyrexian mana cards banned. It's such a spike mechanic, paying life to cast your stuff cheaper, get that efficiency. So it's already spiky right from the top. And then the ability, you can pay 4 black or Phyrexian mana, so 8 life, and you get to choose a card you own from outside the game that has been banned or restricted in a constructed format and put it into your hand. So this lets you tutor up your dig through times, your treasure cruises. You want to play an Emrakul? Go get your Emrakul if you're playing standard casual constructed. You could tutor up extra black Lotuses or Moxen if you have them in your collection. Such a fun, sweet card. I have no idea what this means. It definitely gives players who have a big collection with expensive cards more of an advantage, but just a really flavorful on-point card, kind of reminiscent of Johnny Combo Player, another representation of a certain player type, except instead of combo players, this time we're working with spiky tournament grinders. So all around, today's Unstable spoilers have been super awesome. I love these cards. They are amazing. I'm super excited for the set. So what do you think? What's your favorite Unstable card from the day? What do you think of Stormcrow? Are you going to build around it in your Unstable drafts? What do you want to exile with Do It Your Seraph? How do you like sort of Dungeons and Dragons? All the new contraption cards, contraption assemblers, the dice rolling sub-theme. What pack do you want to summon with Summon the Pack? Are you excited for Rules Lawyer and Spike Tournament Grinder? How good are those cards? Will your playgroup let you play with them in Commander, in casual games? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.